1, 2, 3.
Hello everyone, I am Be Better Gamer and welcome to Be Better Gamer Wrestling, the channel dedicated to wrestling video games, fueled by my love, passion, and obsession for them. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am playing WWF WrestleMania 2000 on the N64, another CAW for you. I know a lot of people love CAWs, getting a lot of great CAW requests. Thank you so much for all of those. And I am going to be doing Bart Gunn. That's right, the infamous Bart Gunn, one half of the Smoking Guns, winner of the Brawl for All. We're going to talk about that in a bit. He's actually in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, another Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 alum. After WWF, he went over to Japan and he began wrestling as Mike Barton. So this CAW is sort of a combination of both. His appearances in WWF in the late 90s and also his appearances in Japan wrestling as Mike Barton. Parameters, profile, moveset, all that you can find in the description below. I have it all typed out in a Google spreadsheet. So I'm going to go over the appearance first, then play a match and talk about the CAW. So make sure you check on the description for the full CAW all typed out if you want to get the moves and everything. But let's start with his attire. Again, this is mostly based on his Mike Barton appearance. Body size 3, skin tone 0, ring attire 41. Although in his brief matches in WWF at the tail end, you know, in between Brawl for All, if you will, and WrestleMania 15, he did wear something along the lines like this. The only difference is his hair. His hair, he had a ponytail. So for head, I went with head 1, skin tone 0, face 38, which is Bob Holly's face, which is ironic. Hair 1, 2, 0, that's the short hair. I went with the short hair because I think it looks better than the ponytail, but you can give him the ponytail if you want. Hair 2, and then front hair 34, 0. The ponytail that's in WWF No Mercy, I think would be a lot better than the ponytail that's in WrestleMania 2000. But again, you can give him that ponytail if you want. Gloves 1, 0. Now, he usually only ever wore one glove on his right hand, but you can't do one right-handed glove in this game, so you just gotta give him both. Wristband 1, second color white. As always, everyone gets a white wristband. Knee pad 2, default color for the knee pads. You could put dark black. I always switch it up. Here I put 0 for the knee pads, but you could put dark black for that one. And then feet 3, 0, 21. I should have put dark black. I don't know why I did it. Now it's bothering me because I feel like the default black on the knee pads has a little bit of green in it. Is it just me? Let me know in the comments if it's just me, if I'm just seeing things. I'm crazy. Here he wore short tights very rarely, but there I gave him the short tights, black again. These are sort of like the boxing X-esque tights he wore during the Brawl for All, if you will. So I just went with regular black. He didn't wear knee pads. He had like sneakers. It looked kind of weird, but you could go that route. You can take off the knee pads. You can put on the sneakers. I think the reason why I left it like that is because if you don't have the boxing gloves, it looks kind of weird, and they don't have the boxing gloves in this game. But I believe they have the boxing gloves in like Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. They have the boxing gloves, and he actually wears the boxing gloves in a sort of an outfit like this, where he has blue boxing shorts, dark blue boxing shorts, and I gave him something similar to that. At WrestleMania 15, he had like this blue and gold kind of boxing shorts, you know, blue with a gold trim. You could make that in this game as well, but again, it looks weird without the boxing gloves. I don't know, it's just me, but that's what I did with Bart Gunn. He looks more like Mike Barton in Japan. I didn't make a Smoking Guns attire because, again, the jeans in this game, he wore his jeans with the jeans tucked into the cowboy boots, which is kind of silly to think about. But that's how he wore his jeans, right? So it was kind of hard to emulate a Smoking Guns outfit. It would have been kind of cool, but it just, again, they don't have the cowboy boots. And also, when you put the jeans on, the cowboy boots don't go over the jeans, which is kind of upsetting. I really would like that look to be recreated here in WrestleMania 2000 with Bart Gunn. But we're really focusing on late 90s. We're really focusing on Brawl for All Bart Gunn and everything he did kind of after that. We're fighting Bradshaw, who's with the Acolytes. I didn't make a Bradshaw Brawl for All outfit, but that's who he faced in the finals of the Brawl for All. I was heavily inspired to make Bart Gunn because of the recent Dark Side of the Ring season 2. They have an episode on the Brawl for All, and it really should have been called The Ballad of Bart Gunn. That should have been the actual title of the episode, because they go into detail about how the Brawl for All tournament was a stupid idea. It was, for those who are uninitiated, it was basically a shoot fight tournament done in the middle of the summer in WWF, right before WrestleMania 15, and so in 1998, and all these guys were in it, and they were basically told, fight for real, and there was very loose rules. No one really understood the rules, and a lot of people got hurt. A lot of people got injured during the matches, after the matches, and it was very sloppy, very poor booking, and it didn't make anyone look good. And allegedly, a lot of people behind the scenes had high expectations for Dr. Death Steve Williams, who was just coming into the company. They wanted to get him down the line, a big run with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So they thought, well, he'll probably win this tournament, because a lot of people assumed he was the biggest and baddest in the tournament. And then that can set him up for a run with Stone Cold. There's also been rumors that whoever won the tournament would fight Stone Cold, because Stone Cold was the big babyface at the time. But Jim Ross, Bruce Pritchard, a lot of other people dispute those rumors, saying no wrestler was ever promised a program with Stone Cold. But Bart Gunn disagrees. If you watch the Brawl for All, it's very fascinating to hear the different perspectives on what went into the creation of the Brawl for All tournament. Vince Russo says he came up with the idea just to stick it to Bradshaw, because he wanted Bradshaw to get knocked out by someone, and he got his wish, because at the end of the tournament, Bradshaw got knocked out by Bart Gunn, who no one thought was going to make it to the end of the tournament. He was sort of one of the dark horse. Again, he came into WWF early on in his career. In 1993, he only had been wrestling since 1991. And he was with the Smoking Guns as a tag team, aka Billy Gunn, from about 93 to 96. They were like a stereotypical tag team babyface in the middle of WWF in the 90s. They were fine. They were okay. There's nothing special about them, unfortunately, but as a kid, I remember the Smoking Guns, they're good guys, they're cowboys, they shoot fake guns in the air. They held the tag team championship 3 times though. They would win it against 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly for their first reign. They would lose it to Owen Hart and Yokozuna at WrestleMania 11, when Yokozuna debuted as Owen Hart's partner, then regained the titles from them a little while later, and then vacate the titles because Billy Gunn had to get neck surgery. But then they would win it back from the Godwins at In Your House, Beware the Dog in 1996, and this is when Sunny became their manager. Originally she was managing the Godwins, and then she went over to the Smoking Guns, but started sort of getting in between them, as she was supposedly dating Billy Gunn on screen. It was an on-screen relationship, and that caused a rift between the Smoking Guns, and then they split up. The Smoking Guns exploded, just like the Mega Powers. After that, Bart Gunn was just sort of not really doing much. He was kept off TV a lot. They didn't really include him in a lot of appearances until 1998, where he joined in as part of the new Midnight Express with Bob Holly, who was known as Bodacious Bart, and they were managed by Jim Cornette. For the uninitiated, the original Midnight Express was Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose, and then eventually Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton, which is the one I associate the most with the Midnight Express, because they had their long feud with the Rock and Roll Express, and then eventually Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane. So this was the 4th incarnation of the new Midnight Express. They didn't do anything with it. They held the NWA Tag Team Championship, which was interesting because at this time, the NWA was sort of doing a quote-unquote invasion angle of WWF that didn't go anywhere. But through that, Bart Gunn and Bodacious Bob became NWA Tag Champions, but then they were split up pretty much because of them meeting in the first round of the Brawl for All, and Bart Gunn defeating Bob Holly in the Brawl for All. So not only did he lose his tag team partner by starting the tournament, by winning the tournament, by knocking out Steve Williams shockingly in the second round, He would go on to knock out the Godfather in the 3rd round, and then knock out Bradshaw in the last round. Keep in mind, Bart Gunn's the only person in the tournament to win by KO. He had 3 KOs in that tournament. No one else had a KO. Steve Williams beat PCO by TKO. His reward was to get knocked out by Butterbean at WrestleMania 15. And that was his reward, aka punishment, because they did not want him to win the tournament. The Brawl for All was fascinating though, because Bart Gunn even says, like, I can work with you. I can take the fall to Steve Williams if you want. I want to play ball. I want to, have a role here in the company. And they just kind of laughed at him because they were like, oh, you're not going to beat Steve Williams. He did. He wins the tournament, and then they punish him for that, which is very sad. After all that, he would go to Japan and have middling success in Japan as a tag team wrestler, specifically with Johnny Ace. Him and Johnny Ace held the All Japan tag titles. He would also face Steve Williams again in a worked wrestling match, like it should have been from the start, and he would lose to Steve Williams. But the highlight, unfortunately, of his career, a lot of people remember Bart Gunn from the Brawl for All incident. So if you haven't watched The Dark Side of the Ring, highly recommend watching that and watching the entire season. It's great. But this is my little ode to what could have been Bart Gunn, one half of the Smoking Guns. It really is the Dark Side of the Ring if you really think about everything that happened with him and everything that went into the Brawl for All. So go watch it. Here he is, straight from Virtual Wrestling 2. So I hope you enjoy it. Once again, I'm at BeBetterGamer on all the social medias. Make sure you follow me, twitch.tv/BeBetterGaming. And until next time, keep watching all the wrestling. Thank you.